What if I told you that this little flower was cherished by the ancient Egyptians for its medicinal, therapeutic, and unique psychoactive properties? This is Blue Lotus, a legal flower that seems to be making a modern day comeback. Google Trends shows us that somewhere around the beginning of 2023, there was a spike of interest in Blue Lotus and Blue Lotus related terms, and it seems like this interest has persisted until this day. Many of you who have experimented with psychoactives have probably heard of Blue Lotus. It's got a bit of lore around it. Some people say that it's really efficacious for them and they love it. Some people say that they get nothing from it and they don't feel the effects. And then some people end up getting, what they think is a Blue Lotus product and it ends up being some sort of research chemical or synthetic cannabinoid. But I truly believe that Blue Lotus is one of the most underrated plant medicines that we currently have in our inventory. Like I said earlier, it's completely legal to buy, possess, and sell in every state except for Louisiana. Sorry, guys. And as far as the rest of the world, it's completely illegal except for three countries, and that is Latvia, Poland, and Russia. The psychoactive effects of Blue Lotus are primarily contributed to two alkaloids, that's apomorphine and nuciferine. Apomorphine has really interesting activity at both our dopamine and serotonin receptors. As far as serotonin receptors, it seems to be a 5-HT1A agonist and then a 5-HT2A antagonist. And nuciferine also seems to have interesting activity at our dopamine receptors. And also it seems to have these sort of weird downstream effects on our acetylcholine receptors. So it's possibly a nootropic in this way. While these two alkaloids are thought to be kind of the primary contributors of the psychoactive experience of Blue Lotus, there's a lot of other alkaloids and different things that they're looking at and studying within Blue Lotus. Blue Lotus also contains a bunch of these things called flavonoids, and these are being looked at for their, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and like neuroprotective properties. So as you can see here with Blue Lotus, there's this crazy sort of entourage effect going on, both with psychoactive elements, but then also these kind of unique adaptogenic possible health benefits, right? And so because of this, Blue Lotus reminds me a lot of Amanita muscaria, another legal plant medicine here in the United States. I actually just made a whole video about Amanita muscaria if you'd like to go check that out. At lower doses, Blue Lotus seems to provide people with, relaxation, euphoria, deep sleep, really vivid dreams, things like this. So once again, very similar to Amanita in this regard at the lower dose. The really big difference between Amanita and Blue Lotus, I would say, probably is like the medium to larger doses, because with medium to larger doses of Amanita, what's typically reported and what I experience is this sort of unique dissociation, and that's not a perfect way of articulating it, but something like that, more similar like something like ketamine, but once again, not a perfect way of articulating it. But with medium to larger doses of Blue Lotus, it seems to be really reliably empathogenic, heavily so. And what I mean is that on these larger doses, there's this very sort of lovey-dovey feeling, almost as if like it's this sort of MDMA light. And now I know some of you are thinking right now, like, dude, like I've heard this before. I know it's like, I've heard that it's supposed to be like this, but I've tried it. I've never felt the effects myself. And truth be told, I was in this same camp. I had tried Blue Lotus in a variety of different forms and didn't find it efficacious for me. And what I had tried was the whole flower form. I had tried smoking it and then also making teas out of it. And never really found that it added much of anything to, even when I combined it with other compounds. But once I tried some Blue Lotus extract, some high quality Blue Lotus extract orally, I had this experience that I'll never forget. It was wonderful. It was very euphoric. I took about 1.5 grams of some good Blue Lotus extract, and the feeling, like I described earlier, was very empathogenic. I remember sitting there and feeling these deep feelings of like love and gratitude for my life, and then like deep feelings of like love and empathy for others, and especially people who I was in relation with. And it was kind of like insightful in this way. And since then, yeah, I've tried it with some different plant medicines, and I find that the oral administration of some high quality Blue Lotus extract, like I said, reliably brings this empathogenic feel to other experiences as well. It pairs really well with cannabis. It pairs really well with meditation. It pairs very well with psychedelics as well, too. Like I said, it's kind of like adding this slight empathogenic MDMA twist to just about everything. Nowadays, I find my sweet spot if I'm wanting to have these sorts of experiences to be somewhere between like 1 to 3 grams of the Blue Lotus extract. And I know some people who need less for it to be efficacious. I know some people who need more. So it can vary quite a bit. What I recommend is like with anything else, start small, stay safe, stay mindful, titrate your way up as needed. Be warned, Blue Lotus is known to be an aphrodisiac, and this is definitely something that I've experienced within that sort of empathogenic Blue Lotus experience. I highly recommend taking it an hour or so before intimacy. As far as addiction, overdoses, and any sort of like medication interactions, I'll just say this. There are some reports online of extremely large doses of Blue Lotus causing like hallucinations or psychosis. And what I truly think this stems from is people who have bought Blue Lotus products before who actually ended up buying some sort of research chemical or synthetic cannabinoid, because that's more common than you would think in the Blue Lotus market. And it just seems like pretty reliably these Blue Lotus does not lend itself to any sort of extreme psychoactivity in that way, and or toxicity either. I've taken up to 7 grams of Blue Lotus extract in one sitting before without any negative side effects. And now, with me saying that, please don't go and take 30 grams yourself in one sitting after having never tried it before because you watched some dude on YouTube. But yeah, the whole like synthetic cannabinoid and research chemicals being put into Blue Lotus products reminds me a lot of the sort of Amanita or mushroom gummy phenomenon going on right now in the United States, and I actually just made a video about that too if you'd like to go and check that out. Now, I would be cautious of using Blue Lotus while you're on any sort of medications. I personally haven't seen any reports of this going haywire for anybody, but just to be on the safe side, because we do not fully understand how exactly these alkaloids are interacting with our body, and everybody's body is so incredibly complex and unique to them, and there is downstream effects of any sort of plant or compound that you're taking. So just to err on the safe side, I would say if you're on medications, either don't take it, or if you do really feel called to, then start small and titrate your way up. And from everything I've seen, Blue Lotus doesn't seem to be addictive either. Now, with that being said, I feel like if you started taking Blue Lotus, 10 grams of Blue Lotus extract every night to sleep, and then all of a sudden quit, like you might have some trouble sleeping without it for a bit, but you can do this with just about anything. So once again, please stay safe and stay mindful. And as for overdosing, from what I could find, it doesn't really seem to be a thing. Any sort of cases of this or instances, like I said, it was usually probably synthetic cannabinoids, and there's really no current LD50 on Blue Lotus. It doesn't seem to lend itself to that. It's not associated typically with like high amounts of toxicity in any sort of way. So yeah, once again, stay safe, but that's what I could find. And if you're wondering where you can get some high quality Blue Lotus products, then you should check out our company, Minnesota Nice Ethnobotanicals. We got some of the best Blue Lotus products on the market. We got whole flower form, of course. We got tea bags. We got Blue Lotus extract. We just came out with some Blue Lotus gummies that are made with the Blue Lotus extract. Those are really good. I highly recommend those. People are loving those right now. So yeah, check out our stuff. That's our company. We love what we do. We love these plants and these plant medicines. So yeah, other than that, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you found it informative. If you have any interesting takes on Blue Lotus, any interesting experiences yourself that you'd like to share with me, please leave those in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, peace out. Much love.